Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 beginner hill and mountain walking essentials. As well, we've got a bit of a giveaway to say thank you for all of your support so far. Hi, my name's Jack and welcome to the Summitfit YouTube channel. If you fancy yourself something of an adventurer, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. As well, I've got a few prizes to give out today to say thank you very much for all of your support, your likes, your comments and all your subscribes so far. This includes 5 of this very beanie here. Well, not this very beanie. This beanie is on my head and my head is getting very sweaty, so you probably don't want this one. But I've got 5 brand spanking new Summitfit beanies to give away. For first and second place, as well as a beanie, you'll get a neck gaiter, one of the Summitfit neck gaiters as well. And we've also got one bundle of prizes kindly supported by the guys at WaterWell. So as well as a beanie and a neck gaiter, you're also going to grab yourself a Summitfit t-shirt and one of the WaterWell filter bottles. It's a really awesome prize bundle, so make sure you keep watching to find out how to enter. Okay, let's get to it. Number 1 on my essential list is navigation. So that doesn't just mean carrying the appropriate map and also compass for the area that you're in, but it also means understanding how to use it. So get yourself on a navigation course, watch some videos. We've actually got some navigation videos coming up over the next few weeks to help you learn how to take a bearing, to read a grid reference and understanding contours. Or as well, grab yourself a little book like this. So this navigation manual is great for having a bit of a peruse when you're sat on the sofa in the evening, or as well, because it's kind of dinky in size, it's ideal to stick in your bag. If you're out on a bit of a walk or you're practicing your navigation, grab it out and have a bit of a look and practice these skills in real time. So make sure not only are you carrying the right navigational equipment, but you also understand how to use it. And that's top tip number 1. Top tip number 2 is to take your time. Walking up hills, climbing up mountains is physically demanding. Slowing the pace down a little bit is going to make the world of difference. As well, let's face it, we're all out here to enjoy the views, to soak up the scenery, probably the rain, and also to land the ultimate Instagram summit itself. I'm just joking, but really, we are out because the mountains are a therapeutic place to be. So slowing down the pace a little bit gives us an opportunity to enjoy it all the more. Top tip number 3 is to use the layering system. This is the process of using a series of lighter weight layers, such as mid-weight fleeces or like this soft shell here, to layer on top of one another instead of using one single bulky item. Now, of course, if you're out and about wearing a big down jacket, you might feel lovely and cozy when it's cold, but if you get a little bit too warm and you have to get rid of that jacket, you may immediately be quite cold. So it's very difficult for you to sort of find that middle ground, and that's where the layering system comes in handy. Top tip number 4 is lighting. So it's really important, even if you're only planning on going out for a short day walk, to stick something like a head torch in your bag. A head torch is ideal because of course you stick it on your head, so it keeps your hands free to use walking poles or grab rocks or whatever it might be. When you're packing a head torch, it's also worth sticking in a few spare batteries as well, just to make sure you've got a bit of extra juice if you need it. And if you do find that your head torch comes on in your bag, let's say the on button gets knocked a little bit while you're using it, what you can do, a little bit of a tip here, is to unscrew the back of the head torch. Here's one I should have prepared earlier. Remove the battery and pop it in the other way. What this means is that your head torch isn't going to turn on by accident in your bag, but it is worth just remembering as it starts to get a little bit darker, just to flip that battery over. You don't want to be doing it when it's gone dark and you already can't see. Okay, so we're halfway through and I'm going to let you know how to enter the competition so you can win one of the 5 prizes that I'm giving away. All I want to know is the answer to this question, and that is, what is one of your top essential items that you use out in the hills? Now, if it's one that I'm featuring in this video, still pop it in the comments below and let us know why you think it's particularly important. If it's something extra, then absolutely, definitely plonk it in the comments below because we'd love to know what you think. And I will be picking 5 top comments to win the prizes. Number 5, first aid kit. So carry a first aid kit, yes, but also understand how to use it. So ideally, get yourself on a little course, something a bit casual, something that can help you out should you or a mate have a bit of an accident when you're out and about in the hills, just so you've got a bit of an understanding of what to do with the kit inside the bag. Of course, you can also check out a few YouTube videos or the Guardsy first aid kit here, which if you're on Instagram, you've likely seen these guys. Great little practical first aid kits, ideal for throwing in a hiking bag for when you're out walking. Really great mini practical first aid kits. This actually comes with a downloadable document that you can use that again explains how to sort of utilize the bits and bobs that are in this first aid kit. I'll pop a link in the description below so you can check out Guardsy and their first aid kits as well. Hint and tip number 6 is hydration. And also my tip for hydration is really to grab yourself a filter bottle such as this one from WaterWell. Now, having a filter in your bottle means you can scoop up water on the move, taking it from any decent water source when you're out and about. Now, what this means is if your water supply is starting to run a little bit low, you can top it up. It also potentially means that you don't have to set off with quite as much water in the first place because you can fill up as you go along. And this, of course, reduces the weight on your shoulders and your knees and generally makes your day a little bit more enjoyable. Number 7, make sure you carry enough high energy food and snacks. When you're out in the mountains, it puts a lot of demand on your body and it requires a lot of energy. So it's a good time to be carrying lots of high energy food. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to carry up half a fried chicken, as delicious as that might be, but I do recommend taking high energy foods such as chocolates or freeze-dried fruits, nuts, or bars such as this, high energy flapjack bars, etc., that you can quickly dig into and top up your energy whilst you're on the move. Top tip number 8, check the weather. Now, as a Brit, I wake up in the morning talking about weather or checking the weather or then talking about it some more or looking out the window trying to work out exactly what that cloud is about to do. But all joking aside, when you're out in the mountains, it is really important to know what the weather's planning on doing. A little tip, a little something that I do before I head out is to look at 3 or 4 different forecasts online and pick the one I like the look of most. I don't do that really, but I do look at a few different forecasts and sort of come up with my own little mental average of what the weather might be doing on that day. As well, if you're heading into any of the major British mountain ranges, such as Snowdonia or the Highlands, you can check out the website MWIS, so that's the Mountain Weather Information Service. Again, I'll pop a link in the description below to that. Now, the Mountain Weather Information Service focuses specifically on our British mountain areas. As well, it describes the weather in a way that's relatable to a walker. So for instance, it describes the kind of effect wind might have on you in the day, whether you're going to have a nice pleasant wander out or by the afternoon you're going to be going full Mary Poppins blowing off into the distance. Top tip number 9, keep it light. Now, it's all too easy if you've got a big pack to fill in all the spaces with a few extra luxuries. And don't get me wrong, it's important to head out with a few comforts to make sure that your day in the mountains is bearable. And of course, you absolutely should never sacrifice any safety kit. Don't drop your first aid kit for the sake of saving a few extra grams here and there. But it is a good idea to just go through your kit and try and decide if that extra jacket for that super trendy selfie at the summit is really necessary. Remember that all that extra weight runs through your shoulders, through your back, through your knees, into your feet, and all of these areas are going to suffer if you're carrying more than you need to. As I've already said, it's a highly physically demanding activity, so just cutting down on areas such as the weight in your pack is going to make things a little bit easier. Okay, so finally, tip number 10. If you're out for a walk in the mountains, often keeping your kit dry can be a bit of a battle. In walk, the dry bag. Ta-da! So dry bags are little bags that when rolled down at the top, form a seal and keep the kit inside them dry. Much like this little one here that I've acquired from a friend, Saul. Thank you very much, I will give it you back at some point. Now they come in all kinds of different sizes. Obviously this one's relatively small, and this is ideal for a few spare pairs of socks, your first aid kits and bits and bobs like that. But you can get really big ones as well that will line the entirety of the inside of your pack. When you're using a dry bag as well, try and squash the air out as you go to roll it down. That way you can compress items such as an insulated jacket. So something that was once big and bulky inside your pack will now pack down quite small. One little bonus tip, call this 10.5, is rain covers. Now, there's all kinds of debate over rain covers for a couple of reasons. A, they're not a sealed item like a dry bag. Rain can of course run down your back and get into the big hole at the back, and potentially your kit can still get wet. As well, if it's really windy, they can act like a big parachute, dispatch themselves from your bag and beat you down to the pub. But with all that said, if you have got one in your bag, if it is raining or it's a bit drizzly, it's not too windy, it's worth whipping one over your bag because it is going to keep the majority of the bag itself dry. Now this is particularly handy if you are, for instance, wild camping. You can now drag your bag into the tent and in the most part it's going to be quite dry. So those are my top 10 hill and mountain walking essentials for beginners. Now remember, if you've got one that you want to add, make sure you stick it in the comments below and you'll also enter our prize draw. This will be drawn next Saturday, so that's the 5th of December. So if you are watching this video after then, please feel free to comment. We'd love to know what your essential items are, but unfortunately it won't enter you into the competition. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit subscribe below so you don't miss out on anything coming up. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.